Jeff Snyder reported this, Mason, that David Zaslav, who of course is the normal man who runs Warner Brothers Discovery,
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
into the ground. He wanted the DCU's. He wanted to get the DCU Batman going as soon as possible to make it more in line with the MCU. Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've had enough of this bloody milling about.
I'm sure he didn't see it in that sense. I'm sure he didn't see like two universes colliding. He just saw two figures.
Yeah, and he went capes.
Yeah.
Capes.
He just saw two big numbers on a spreadsheet or in a manila folder, and he's like, "Can't we just
capes?
Just put them together? It's fine, whatever they're the same
together. Yeah, they are the same. He's right. But apparently, this suggestion was shot down of course, because apparently, and this could change, the James Gunn and Peter Safran, who run the DCU, they have complete creative control.
Interesting.
It would seem
for now.
I think I think after Superman, we'll see what happens there, depending on box office numbers or critical and audience response.
Yeah. But as long as it does better than Joker 2.
Yeah. Well, seemingly not very difficult. I talked ages ago about how I thought this was something they were just going to attempt because they've got a Batman and they may as well. Yeah, but I don't think they mesh.
Yeah, not really.
Seeing from what we've seen of Superman, at least.
Yeah, I think potentially they could give. I don't know. I think what you'd have to do is move the Batman timeline a little bit forward and say, okay, the Batman 2 is taking place a couple of years into his career, but the Batman Superman team up is taking place 10 years later, and we give him he's not as emo anymore.
Yeah.
You make it clear it's the future.
Yep.
You give him the gold bat symbol.
There's a lot of neon.
Exactly. The suit is cleaner and it's he's well into it kind of thing. The Batmobile's high tech now, and you make it very clear, okay, he's not the new guy anymore. I think that would work.
And there's no supernatural elements to the Batman. And apparently they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So you'd have to change all that of it.
That's true.
Yeah. So I just think it's better to probably not do this.
Do it as a multiverse.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Right?
I love that. It'd be like if the Dark Knight met Brandon Routh's Superman. It's like it's not the same. They're not the same.
No,
kind
you're
of
right.
universes.
They don't have the same mouthfeel.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's something that you would consider anyway, even though this guy's a lunatic and you don't like him. Of course you'd consider it.
It saves you having to cast a new Batman. And
yes.
Weather all the backlash, and he's not as good as this one, and he's not as good as that one.
Yeah,
he's not as good as Adam West.
I think he needs to be bigger also, because David Corenswet's like 6'6" or something like that, and Pattinson's maybe 6'1". I don't know. I think you need a much bigger person to be Batman.
Absolute Batman.
Absolute Batman, big as a bus Batman.
Who do you get then?
Big as a bus Batman. Oh wait, he's not
Reacher?
Realistic. Well, Reacher wants to do it.
Reacher said he'd do it, didn't he?
I don't hate that idea.
Yeah.
Seems too obvious.
And once Reacher's got that in his mind, he's going to if he wants to barrel his way to the Warner Brothers offices, who's going to stop him?
Exactly.
You put up all the Get Smart style doors, he's going to plow his way through them.
I mean,
he's Reacher.
He wasn't always that big, so you could just get a man and make him that big. It's like David Corenswet wasn't always as big as he ended up being.
That's true.
On that, which is good and fun.
Yeah.
Mason, dynamic duo. That's
right.
us. But other than that, do you know that apparently they're making a new DC animated movie? It's called Dynamic Duo.
Yes, I did know that.
Let me talk you through this because it's going to... Let me talk you through this.
Okay, talk me
You
through
look flummoxed.
I am a little bit.
I don't like that for you. It's actually very unbecoming.
I can't help it. I've just seen Joker 2 follow your dude.
Yeah. It follows the early days of Dick Grayson.
That's a dynamic juice, if ever there was one. Little preview. My opinions. It's all right.
It follows the early days of Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, a.k.a. the Robins. So James Gunn said this: over the moon, excited to announce the newest DC Studios / Warner Brothers Pictures animation greenlit film for theaters. Dynamic Duo, the story of Robin, or should I say Robins, as in Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. The first feature film from the visionary Sway Box. So it's going to be a mix of animation, puppetry, and CGI. A script from the wonderfully talented Matt Aldrich, produced with our partners at Matt Reeves' 6th and Idaho. This is something special. So apparently Sway Box is a production company, and it's a project that was started by husband and wife creators Arthur Mintz and Teresa Anderson.
Okay, they do have a sort of a sample reel out there. It's
okay,
YouTube,
I haven't seen
if you want
that.
to check that out. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, what does this look like, this blend of stuff?
Pretty cool, I thought.
Pretty cool, you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, while you look that up,
Yeah.
I will say, this is a little bit it's deviating a little bit from continuity, of course, because these two particular Robins, prior to being Robins, had never met. So in the plot of this is they're orphaned sort of
this is interesting.
youth criminals in Gotham City.
Yeah.
So in the original comic, they were both circus acrobats, but then in the the second continuity, Jason Todd was an orphan street tough who was stealing the wheels off the Batmobile, and that's how he became the second Robin.
Yep.
So at that point, the original Robin had already moved on. So this is a little break in continuity.
He had a mullet and a disco collar.
You better believe he did.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be an interesting idea. Why not?
Let's get some cool animated stuff. I like also that they're branching out in terms of what animation means and looks like now.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw two animated... Spider-Verse. I mean, I saw two animated movies last week. I saw Transformers 1 and... I saw 3 movies, Mason. Transformers 1 and The Wild Robot and Joker 2. Mm-hmm. And those, they just look different. It's not all that kind of DreamWorks kind of fucking shit, which is fine. That it has its place.
I mean, how you described it is...
Yeah, I don't like it, all right?
Fine.
I'm sick of it. It's been 20 fucking years of it. It's good to, move on in any direction.
Give us a second face, will you?
Just a different face, for God's sake, Wreck-It Ralph, you bitch. That's a good movie. I haven't seen the second one. But, I like this. I like that they're also... It's not just committing to one universe. Mm-hmm. It's let's do a bunch of stuff. And it's not, pushed into, direct streaming or whatever, which is also fine if they did that. But, they're putting a lot of effort and getting a lot of different people working on, different kind of projects.
For now,
until it all becomes one universe.
Depends how Superman does.
Yeah. I hope it's good. For their sake. Otherwise, they'll kill you. James Gunn, they'll kill you.
They'll kill you. It's Spider-Man stuff time.
Yep. Andrew Garfield said he'd return to Spider-Man given the right circumstances, but there was a rumor this week. I think it was My Time to Shine. Hello, maybe something.
Oh, yeah.
That said he's probably going to be back for 2, which would mean Secret Wars, Doomsday, or whatever. It would be those 2, right?
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
he's definitely coming back, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a liar.
What do you mean? All that up.
Told us he wasn't going to be Spider-Man again.
That's true, he did. I was speaking about people who are definitely lying. Joel Kinnaman this week was asked if he's going to be in Peacemaker Season 2, and he's like, what? I would never be in that.
I hate
So he's in it.
Yeah. Dude, you've been in 2 of these terrible movies already. No one was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One was good. And I think this...
He's funny as well. You see him in an interview?
Yeah, he's funny.
He's doing a Jake.
Because he's from Denmark or whatever.
Yeah, they're funny, maybe.
Yeah, they're funny over there.
They're funny people.
They're funny over there.
Funny and tall.
Funny and tall and pale.
Sun comes out at a weird time. I don't know what they're doing.
Right, yeah.
What are they doing?
Probably doing improv games or whatever. Because the sun's gone down for 30
Probably playing
days or whatever.
Finska.
Yeah, probably playing Finska.
Yeah, man.
And eating tinned herring.
They would love that.
They love that over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes you funny.
That makes you funny. Changes your DNA.
Yeah, that's right. But he said he was never in it, which I think is sort of leading towards perhaps the idea in this season of Peacemaker that the universe has been, it's been bumped into the DCU, and maybe Peacemaker's the only guy who notices.
Yeah, I mean, because Peacemaker Season 2 is set in the DCU, but Season 1 is set in the DCEU.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I think...
and they're going to reference that.
I think it's leaning very heavily towards at least one person in the series is aware that the universe has shifted. And it would be Peacemaker because he's the insane conspiracy theorist that believes everything. But this time he's right.
Yeah, but he can't prove it.
Can't prove it, exactly.
Yeah.